What if your life's only escape became your reality? For 10 long years, Dokja Kim found solace in one web novel. 3 Ways to Survive the Apocalypse. Over 3,000 episodes of pure dedication. He was the sole reader, the only one who cared. But as he sits in this quiet cafe, something feels different. The calm shatters. Crash. Debris explodes around him. His peaceful world just became a nightmare. Darkness erupts. Glowing blue eyes pierce through shadow as a monstrous growl reverberates through the air. Sharp teeth gleam with malevolent hunger. A figure in light clothing stands defiant against the encroaching beasts, their roar echoing like thunder. The sound of screeching claws and rushing wind fills the void. And then, that fateful moment arrives. The day Dokja finished his beloved web novel was the day everything changed. Dokja's eyes widen in disbelief as he stands on the dimly lit street. No way. This is... His mind races, try to process the impossible. His companion looks equally apprehensive as murmurs of confusion ripple through the crowd. Then clarity strikes like lightning. He grabs his smartphone, certainty flooding his voice. I know how this story goes. The landscape before them smolders with destruction, exactly as he'd read 1,000 times before. Steel clashes against steel in explosive fury. Sparks fly as debris bursts outward from the violent impact. Through the smoke and chaos, a figure emerges with intense, furrowed brows and burning eyes. His voice cuts through the destruction like a blade. Who the hell are you? But there's something more terrifying than his anger. The cold realization that this battle was foretold. Every strike, every moment, exactly as written. The sword fight erupts with brutal precision. 2 warriors clash amidst flying debris and fiery sparks, their blades meeting with a resounding clank. Dokja's focused expression reveals no fear, only grim determination. Sweat glistens on his skin as he parries each desperate strike. His opponent's face twists with aggression, but Dokja remains eerily calm. This isn't his first battle. In his mind, he's fought this fight 100 times before. Dokja stares at his smartphone screen, hands trembling with nervous anticipation. The final episode. After all these years, how could he not feel overwhelmed? I can't believe it's the final episode. I'm too nervous to even open it. His finger hovers over the screen. One tap would end a decade-long journey. But something deeper gnaws at him. He's become the only person who knows how the world will end. A breathtaking sunset paints the sky in brilliant pastels. 2 figures share this serene moment. A contemplative man in a green jacket and a woman gazing at the horizon. But tranquility shatters when the phone buzzes. There are 3 ways to survive the apocalypse. The message appears. Then another. This is the last episode. Dokja's eyes widen in disbelief. Really? Is that it? His decade-long journey ends, not with a bang, but a whimper. The train rattles violently. Dokja clutches his phone, startled by the sudden tremor. His suit wrinkles as tension grips his body. The title Omniscient Reader flashes across the screen like a warning. He looks directly at us, breaking through the 4th wall. I'm Dokja. But this isn't just an introduction. It's a confession. The man who lived through stories is about to become part of one. Dokja Kim. Even his name carries weight. This is how I introduce myself to others. 9 times out of 10, people misunderstand me. He shows his business card with practiced resignation. When people assume he's an only child, he corrects them with quiet frustration. It's my name. The name his father chose, hoping he'd be strong and independent. Instead, Dokja became something else entirely. Lonely, single, but uniquely prepared for what's coming. The subway hums with routine normalcy. Dokja, lost in his phone, practices his daily ritual of reading web novels. But today's different. Sangah from HR approaches, her light brown hair catching the fluorescent lights. At this rate, you might get sucked into your phone, she teases playfully. Dokja looks up, startled but pleased. A simple encounter that should be forgettable. Yet something about today feels significant. The The conversation flows with awkward charm. Dokja mentions his team manager being away, feeling lucky about the timing. Sangah smirks slightly. She knows her reputation as the office's most popular girl. He shrugs off her teasing about admirers, claiming they come from different worlds. But there's something magnetic about this moment. The way her shampoo smells, the casual intimacy of shared subway space. What made today's ride so different was just beginning to reveal itself. Books become the bridge between strangers. The girl with long brown hair enthusiastically discusses her reading, World After the Apocalypse. The guys lean in, genuinely interested. Someone attempts Spanish, asking to borrow money, lightening the mood with laughter. It's a perfect snapshot of human connection through literature. They ask Dokja what he's reading, unknowing they're about to witness the collision of fiction and reality firsthand. Dokja reflects on his modest hobby with a mixture of nostalgia and melancholy. Reading serialized web novels during his subway commutes, not something to be proud of, but deeply personal. 3 Ways to Survive the Apocalypse, his 10-year companion, is ending today. People might wonder why he cares so much about a web novel's conclusion. But this story saved him during his darkest school days, when bullies made life unbearable. Life has been a series of cruel disappointments. Failed exams, frontline military service, bouncing between unstable contracts. Damn it, what's the point? Dokja questions everything while holding his smartphone. But through every setback, TWSA remained constant. That fictional world provided escape when reality became unbearable. Now, as the epilogue uploads today, he feels the bittersweet ache of ending a relationship that sustained him for a decade. The conversation takes a reflective turn as Dokja and Sangah discuss their year at the company. Time flew by so quickly. They had no idea what they were getting into back then. Their contracts ending soon feel surreal. He mentions wanting to support the author financially, but could barely make ends meet, settling for grateful comments instead. Then he remembers Sangah was promoted to full-time last month. Success and failure, sitting side by side on the same train. Dokja apologizes for his delayed congratulations about Sangah's language achievement. She downplays her success with characteristic modesty, but he sees through it. She gave it her all while he simply drifted. The painful truth hangs between them. It was obvious she'd succeed while he wouldn't. When she mentions reading web novels, his attention sharpens. Finally, a connection. He offers to share an app, extending support where he can. Dokja's mind wanders into darker territory. What if his life weren't nonfiction? What if he could be a protagonist in some fantasy world instead of this mundane existence? Even a cockroach seems more significant than his daily grind. Around him, fellow passengers scroll through their phones, lost in their own escapes. Sangah notices his distant expression, concern flickering across her face. Dokja, she asks softly, sensing his inner turmoil. The brutal truth crystallizes in Dokja's mind. The genre of my life is nonfiction, and in this genre, I'm no protagonist. I'm merely a reader. But Sangah finds his words inspiring, declaring she needs to live her own life. He encourages her to strive for her fullest potential, adding unexpected optimism. Then, with dark humor, he thinks, well, at least that got her to stop talking. The irony isn't lost. Even his kindness feels calculated. His phone buzzes unexpectedly. A message? Dokja checks the screen, curiosity replacing contemplation. The chat window reveals messages from TLS 123, multiple thank you notes, and a crucial question. Are you the author of TWSA? His expression shifts from puzzlement to surprise. The author of his beloved series is reaching out personally. But why now? What does this connection mean for his carefully structured world of reading and reality? The author explains about a contest, not a major one, so Dokja wouldn't have heard of it. But there's bigger news. Starting with today's epilogue, TWSA will become paid content. As gratitude for his loyal readership, the author wants to send a special present, asking for his email address. Dokja's mind races. A present? Maybe a gift card worth $50? His phone chimes with a notification as anticipation builds. The present arrives, but it's not what Dokja expected. The message warns that TWSA will become paid content at 7 p.m., just 5 minutes away. Confused, he discovers the Webtoon has already vanished from the platform. Do they really remove content without notice? As he discusses this strange timing with the girl beside him, an ominous sound interrupts their conversation. Crash! Something terrible has begun. Chaos erupts without warning. What's happening? Is it a terrorist attack? The young man's panic echoes everyone's fear. Smoke and debris fill the air as screams pierce the atmosphere. Dokja immediately checks on Sangah. Are you okay? Pulling her close protectively. Don't worry, it's probably nothing. He reassures her, but his voice betrays uncertainty. The clock strikes 7 p.m. with ominous precision. The timing can't be coincidental. Alarms blare through the chaos. Beep, beep. Someone desperately calls for evacuation as terror spreads through the crowd. Dokja, what's going on? Sangah asks, her voice tight with fear. Other passengers show various degrees of alarm. The girl with light hair looks shocked, while confusion ripples through the group. Then the message appears cold and mechanical. The free service of the 8612 ND planetary system has come to an end. Reality just became a game. A flash of light startles the subway passengers. Dokja stands frozen in his dark suit, worry etched across his face. Behind him, other commuters react with shock, a man and two women staring in disbelief. The subway jerks to an unexpected halt, plunging them into unsettling darkness. Dokja's mind races. Why did the word Dakibi suddenly pop in his head? His internal voice whispers what his rational mind refuses to accept. This isn't a normal subway breakdown. In a crowded space, Dokja stands next to Sangah, both struggling to comprehend their situation. The opening lines of a very familiar story race through his mind, but logic fights back. It doesn't make any sense, he thinks. There's no way. But when the word slips from his lips, a Dakibi, Sangah looks at him strangely. Around them, business-suited passengers point and whisper. Someone breaks through the noise with a single, urgent word. Look. Horror and disbelief collide as the impossible appears before them. What is that? The young man's voice cracks with shock. A soft, furry creature hovers nearby, cute yet somehow menacing. The realization hits like a physical blow. This thing defies everything they understand about reality. No way this is... But Dokja's mind supplies the answer his lips barely whisper. So we called it a Dakibi. Fiction has torn through the fabric of the real world. The crowd erupts in confused murmurs. What's that thing saying? Is this augmented reality? People grasp for rational explanations. It's so ugly, someone exclaims in disgust. But Dokja knows better. This plump, white creature is definitely a Dakibi. His face contorts with the impossible realization. Around them, passengers in business attire express everything from shock to skepticism. Only he understands the true horror. The novel he's read for 10 years is manifesting around them. Desperate attempts at communication begin. I think it's speaking Spanish. Should I try talking to it? Sangah suggests. Someone jokes about asking it to lend money, drawing nervous laughter. The creature's voice cuts through the confusion. Testing, testing. Can everyone hear me? The language patch was malfunctioning for a bit. A passenger still thinks they're filming a movie, mentioning an audition. But the Dakibi's casual tone makes everything more terrifying. This is no performance. Dokja realizes the gravity of their situation. He looks frantically at Sangah, knowing he must stop them from making a fatal mistake. I have to stop them. But how? A nearby character responds with mocking confidence, claiming to know how this will play out. The atmosphere grows thick with panic and murmurs from the crowd. Then a voice demands silence with deadly authority and sinister red eyes gleam. Blood suddenly splatters across the ground. The game's first lesson is written in crimson. Terror paints every face as blood decorates the scene. The young man's eyes widen in pure horror, while the blonde woman in red stares in shocked disbelief. A man beside them sweats profusely, pain etched across his features. Then comes that sinister smile, sharp teeth gleaming as the creature's voice turns cold. This isn't a dream or a novel, and it certainly isn't the reality you're familiar with. Reality has been shattered beyond repair. Dokja's denial crumbles as acceptance floods in. This is real. His doubt and disbelief fade away as the floor remains painted in blood. The furry creature grins with malevolent satisfaction. You all have had quite a cushy life up until now, haven't you? You were able to breathe, enjoy life, but now you're paying the cost. Around them, fear spreads like wildfire. A man in a black suit observes with eerie calmness, while others display various degrees of terror. A desperate man in a pinstriped suit waves cash desperately. I'll give you as much as you want. Money solves everything. His confident smirk reveals his fundamental misunderstanding. But the Dakibi's response is swift and merciless. Flames engulf him with a loud snap. As he burns, the creature explains that money only holds value in their limited reality. The lesson is clear. Old rules no longer apply. Wealth means nothing in this new world. Struggling gasps fill the air as someone chokes out "Ugh." The Dakibi dismisses their panic coldly. Debt is already piling up, and explanations are pointless. It will be faster for you to try to earn money yourselves. Suddenly, channel #BI 7623 opens with a crackling sound. Characters scream and run as energy bursts around them. A blonde girl stares in shock, while others flee. The constellations are now making an entrance, the announcement declares ominously. The young man's face drips with sweat and terror as the digital alert materializes. The main scenario has arrived. Category main. Difficulty F. The instructions are chilling. Kill one or more living organisms or face death. A small, round white creature grins wickedly as it cheerfully declares, "Well, good luck, everyone." The countdown begins. 30 minutes to commit murder or die. The game's true nature reveals itself in the most horrifying way possible. Panic spreads like wildfire through the crowd. The police aren't picking up. What do we do? Sangah cries, clutching her phone desperately. Dokja tries to calm her, his voice steady despite the chaos. Sangah, you played that survival game your development team is working on, right? The one where only a number of people survive the apocalypse. His words carry weight. This isn't random violence. This is a game with rules, patterns, and strategies for survival. Sangah struggles with the concept. A game. But Dokja's mind is already working. Every game has rules. We just need to follow them. Around them, passengers show varying degrees of shock. A distressed man in white, others with discolored faces of fear. The background fills with images of corpses and terror. Even a comic Dakibi with antennae appears, adding surreal elements to their nightmare. The question haunts them all. What are the rules of this deadly game? Dokja's mind races through survival strategies. The story he's followed for 10 years is coming to life before his eyes. His phone displays the familiar title, 3 Ways to Survive the Apocalypse. The first scenario demands proof of value. Kill one or more living organisms. The blue interface shows rewards and penalties with clinical precision. But how do you survive when the cost is becoming a killer? Okay, everyone, calm down, someone shouts, trying to restore order. A tall, confident man steps forward, his navy jacket marking him as different from the panicked crowd. Take a deep breath and stop what you're doing, he commands with authority. Someone challenges him. Who the hell are you? He produces an ID card, identifying himself as Lieutenant Hyungseong Lee from Military Unit 6502. A national emergency, he announces, though doubt ripples through the crowd. But Dokja recognizes him. This is a character from TWSA, appearing exactly as written. The lieutenant's phone displays the chilling alert. This is a Level 1 national emergency alert. Please return to your unit ASAP. This is not a drill. He explains his limitations, just a soldier without clearance to contact the Blue House directly. When challenged about controlling the situation, he remains composed. I already knew this would turn into a national emergency, he admits. But Dokja knows something's wrong. This isn't how Hyunseong Lee first appeared in the original story. Dokja grapples with a disturbing realization. A character from TWSA has appeared, but not as originally written. The lieutenant should have appeared after the first scenario, not during it. Everything feels wrong. Around him, anxious passengers watch broadcasts about terrorist attacks across Seoul. Sangah points urgently at news coverage as the Prime Minister addresses the nation. But if the story is changing from what Dokja remembers, how can he predict what comes next? News reports flood the airwaves. The anchorman speaks of unidentified terrorist attacks across Seoul and government promises to combat them. 3 young passengers debate the credibility of online rumors, desperately seeking rational explanations. It would be easier to believe we're under terrorist attack, one suggests, but their discussion is shattered by explosive bang sounds. The scene shifts to show the Prime Minister in distress as panic spreads through nearby crowds with screams echoing. The creature's sinister grin reveals sharp teeth as it snarls. This is not just some joke. Like terrorism, its voice drips with malevolent amusement. A young man in a suit stares in disbelief, while a blonde girl looks apprehensive. The creature continues its taunting. I guess you still don't get it. Do you think we're playing a game right now? Then comes the ominous threat. Let's raise the difficulty, shall we? A countdown timer appears, shocking the crowd as time runs out. The digital alert delivers a chilling ultimatum. 10 minutes left to kill a living organism or face death. The rules become more sinister. If no death occurs within 5 minutes, everyone in the cabin dies. The countdown shows 0:01 with a swoosh effect, emphasizing the urgency. Characters react with shock and disbelief. What kind of sick joke is this? Someone cries. Others demand answers from the army lieutenant, but panic is setting in. Time is running out. Dokja analyzes the situation with growing anxiety. Everything matches his memories of the story, yet something feels wrong. He recalls that Hyunsung Lee should appear soon. But where is he? Meanwhile, chaos erupts behind them as screams indicate a murder has occurred. Block the entry, someone yells desperately. Sparks fly as they attempt to seal their area. The atmosphere becomes electric with tension as they brace for imminent danger. But still, where's Hyunsung Lee? An invisible wall blocks their escape route, trapping them inside. What's wrong with this? Someone asks in confusion, pressing against the barrier. The white furry Dakibi laughs with sadistic glee. It's getting interesting for some cabins, while others haven't even started yet. A woman with long dark hair snaps her fingers threateningly. Fine, I'll give you a little jolt. How about showing you what happens if you don't do anything in the next 5 minutes? The flash that follows promises nothing good. Chaos erupts across multiple locations. An older man with gray hair looks contemplative as students at Taefeng High School scatter among debris. Crash! Echoes through the air, followed by terrified screams. HHH. The voice announces coldly. You have exceeded the time limit. Proceeding with checkout. More screams of AHH and help pierce the atmosphere. The ominous splat sound accompanies splashes of fluid. Students witness horror firsthand. Oh my gosh. How could they? Time limits are absolute. Shock and confusion paint every face as characters stare wide-eyed, sweat beading on their foreheads. Someone falters, gripping their head in distress. Ugh. A sudden crash disrupts everything. Crash. As energy crackles through the air, the tension builds to a dramatic pause. The survivor of channel hashtag Bay23515 is. The name is revealed. Jae-hi Lee, second-year student from Class B at Taeping Girls High School. One survivor. One name. One person who chose to live. In the dimly lit classroom at Taeping Girls High School, Jae-hi Lee stands alone in her school uniform. Her long black hair flows as she staggers, the weight of survival heavy on her shoulders. A shadowy figure with a menacing grin observes her predicament. What do you think? Fun, right? The sinister he echoes through the space. Meanwhile, others in a hallway react with raw terror. F***CK? What is this? What the hell is going on? The game claims its first willing participant. Back in their cabin, the group remains trapped, anxiety thick in the air. A dark-haired man in a formal suit stares in shock at a mysterious blue-tinted projection. Beside him, a woman with brown hair trembles violently, clutching her hands as fear overwhelms her. Another character flinches at unseen horrors. F***K. What is this? What the hell is going on? The collective confusion is palpable, but something strange catches their attention. What are they seeing that terrifies them so completely? Dokja's frustration mounts as the key figure still hasn't appeared. His dark hair falls across his worried face as he examines his phone desperately. If only he could read TWSA again, he'd know what to do next. But the series was removed. Why? It wasn't even popular enough for illegal sharing. Then his phone buzzes with a message from the author, mentioning an attached file. His eyes widen in shock. 3 ways to survive the apocalypse.txt. Could this be his salvation? Dokja stares at his phone in complete disbelief. Did he send me his novel as a present? The implications hit him like a freight train. If this is illegal sharing, or does it matter since he's the author himself? His mind races as notifications pop up on screen. It's just like a game, he realizes, rubbing his forehead in wonder. In the dim classroom, Jaihai desperately tries to access her attributes window. The blue interface flickers mockingly before her. What the hell is going on? She can't open her attribute window, which means she can't discover her skills. Frustration builds, but she pushes forward. There's still the attached file. Maybe, just maybe it holds the answer she needs. A notification blazes across Dokja's vision. Your attribute has been activated. You can now read at faster speeds. His eyes widen in shock, sweat beading on his forehead. That was his attribute? He just devoured an entire chapter of TWSA in under a minute. And thanks to that incredible speed, bingo, he's found what he was looking for. Cabin number 3707. Dokja's face darkens as the horrifying truth crystallizes. The girl beside him, frantic with worry, asks if they should try to stop the chaos in the other cabin. His response chills the air around them. It's probably too late for them. In the story, only 2 people survive cabin 3807. The weight of that knowledge crushes down on him like a tombstone. Dokja grabs Namwon Kim's wrist with iron determination. The green uniformed student pleads desperately to be released, but Dokja's voice cuts through his whimpering like a blade. Shut your mouth. His eyes burn with terrible certainty as he delivers the death sentence. Sangah will probably die. Except for those 2, everyone in this cabin will die. The smack echoes like a judge's gavel.
Chaos erupts as Mr. Han violently confronts the white-haired boy. You little brat, didn't they teach you to respect your elders? The older man's fury boils over, but the defiant teenager fires back without hesitation. What the hell, old man? Do you want to die too? The girl clutches her bag, nervously, while another man watches in concern. Can't you see what's going on here?
Terror fills the air as panic screams pierce the darkness. Help me, please. The desperate cries echo through the chaos while violence erupts around them. A white-haired figure with blood-red eyes declares the grim reality. Don't you get it? The army isn't going to save us. A man in glasses argues passionately about morality, but the dark truth remains. We have no choice. It's kill or be killed. Namwon Kim emerges from the shadows, his red eyes glowing with malevolent purpose. Think wisely, he warns with chilling calm. The world you knew just ended. Blood splatters paint the battlefield as violence explodes around them. Dokja stands firm, his voice cutting through the mayhem. Are you all just going to sit and watch? Do you all want to die? In frustration, another survivor screams to hell with it all. The ultimatum drops like a death sentence. If no one dies within the next 5 minutes, everyone in here will die. The thud and whack of violence punctuate his words. Dokja watches, feeling detached from reality. It was like reading that part of the novel. He realizes with growing horror. They were in a different world, and he was just a spectator. But this isn't fiction anymore. The boy in the suit desperately chases after the girl with light brown hair. Don't be so reckless. It's dangerous. But her resolve shines through her determination. She knows the risk, yet she can't stand by and watch someone die. If you go, they'll kill you too, he warns. The moral dilemma tears at him. Is it fair to watch her die, just so he can live? Dokja's voice cracks with desperation as he pleads with Sangah. Stay here. Please, just do as I tell you for now. If you listen to me this once, I promise I won't ever bother you again. She looks confused and anxious, questioning his sudden urgency. But Dokja knows the truth. It's too early for him to interfere. This wasn't part of his plan. The thud-thud in the distance grows closer. A thunderous BAN explosion rocks the entire space. Dokja's eyes blaze with fierce determination as he shouts now. He dashes forward through the smoke and debris, his moment finally here. The scenario timer counts down menacingly. 7 minutes, 32 seconds. Kill one or more living organisms. The deadly game has truly begun, and Dokja is making his move. Boom! Another explosion sends debris flying as panic spreads like wildfire. Dokja sprints forward with unwavering determination while smoke billows around him. Where's the smoke coming from? Voices wonder in confusion. The blond boy in the green jacket stumbles backwards, his face twisted in shock. What the hell? He gasps as another crash echoes through the chaos. In the smoke-filled corridor, the white-haired boy lashes out in fury. F***K. What's your problem? The air hisses and wishes with movement as Dokja searches frantically through the debris. What are you doing? Keep going. Kill her. But Dokja has other plans. It may have seemed like he pushed Namwon to save the old lady, but that wasn't his only goal. Where is it? It must be around here somewhere. Found it, the brown-haired boy exclaims triumphantly, holding up his discovery. Meanwhile, whack and thud sounds echo as Dokja urgently approaches him. Excuse me, he says, grabbing the boy and pressing something into his hand. Here, hold on to this. His voice carries desperate authority. Please stop what you're doing. Killing that old lady doesn't mean you're going to live. What? The light-haired boy gasps in shock as an explosion rocks the background. Dokja stands confidently in his black suit, a cold calculation in his eyes. Good, I have their attention. He lays out the brutal logic with chilling precision. Let's say we kill the old lady. What next? Yes, they buy time. But what happens after? The question hangs in the air like a death sentence. Namwon Kim's manic laughter cuts through the tension. Isn't it obvious? His silver hair catches the light as he grins wickedly in his green blazer. Well, kill losers like you next. The chances are 50-50 anyways. His bloodied shirt tells the story of violence already committed. Meanwhile, the dark-haired boy maintains his calm composure, knowing exactly what kind of monster he's facing. Insects. The young man's eyes widen in shock as he stares at the glass enclosure. Of course, his companion yells in sudden realization. The madness that had driven them to kill the old lady. If we kill one of those. The implications hit like a thunderbolt. Something hurtles toward him, and his expression shifts from terror to an unsettling, conflicted joy. What is happening to him? The brown-haired boy stares at his own reflection with growing unease. Why am I smiling? Was I always this kind of person? The question haunts him as ghostly hands and floating eyes frame the nightmarish scene. Then crunch. Dokja's hand crushes something with brutal finality. Oomph. His adversaries react in shock as he swings his weapon. The violence is swift, decisive, and terrifying. A digital notification blazes across the screen. The first kill mission has been accomplished. You will receive 100 coins as a bonus. Blood stains the floor as the messy-haired boy screams, F find it. While another character threatens you a ***. Just you wait. The clock shows 3:12 as panic builds. There, someone begins, but another voice cuts through sharply. Hey, why did you do that? Namwon's manic grin spreads wider as he taunts his opponent. You could have just handed over the bugs. There were only 3 insects left in the box, he reveals with cruel satisfaction. His laughter echoes through the blood-stained train compartment. So you threw them since not all of us can live? Yes, comes the chilling confirmation. The green blazer over his bloodied shirt makes him look like death incarnate. A holographic display illuminates Namwon Kim's character profile in brilliant blue light. The delusional demon, it reads ominously. Dokja studies the attributes with growing understanding. I see. I think I know what my attributes are. Most teen edgelords couldn't handle this nightmare and committed suicide. But Namwon Kim was different. He had been waiting for the apocalypse for a long time. This was his twisted paradise. The digital interface blazes with urgent commands. Prove your value. Kill 1 or more living organisms. Time remaining, 2 minutes 59 seconds. Flames rage around Dokja as he searches frantically through the debris. Where did it go? It was right here just now. His black suit tears as he scrambles desperately. Move. I'm going to catch it. Every second counts in this deadly game. The brown-haired man in his torn blue shirt delivers his verdict with cold finality. Sorry, I work alone. Dokja's expression hardens as he processes this rejection. Well, that's a bummer, Namwon reflects mockingly. If Dokja teamed up with Namwon Kim, his survival would be guaranteed. But he's read TWSA. He knows about Namwon's dark future. Some alliances are too dangerous to make. Namwon's manic grin widens as he declares his intent. I can't let the bug I caught escape from my grasp. But Dokja grabs his wrist, surprising him. What? Are you trying to act like a hero now? Namwon taunts. Or, do you have a split personality? Dokja's face twists with disgust. Geez, it alls are all the same. People like you make me sick. A notification confirms their mutual hatred. I said, move. Namwon lunges forward with deadly intent, but Dokja reads his movements perfectly. Look at you. You're not half bad. A purple aura explodes around Namwon as he unleashes his power. How about this? The slam echoes through the space as supernatural energy crackles. That's the skill of the edgelord attribute. The notification confirms what Dokja already suspected about Namwon's dark abilities. What's this? I'm so King strong. Namwon exults as his power explodes with a thunderous BEM. His wild white hair whips in the supernatural wind, while Dokja contemplates his next move. This is probably why the protagonist still recruited him despite being a psychopath. Dokja realizes grimly. Should I use that now? A notification pings, revealing that his understanding of Namwon has improved dramatically. Damn it! Where did all the King insects go? The brown-haired man screams in frustration. Boom! Another explosion rocks the space as terror spreads. What? What's going on? Someone cries out in panic. Namwon swings his weapon with violent precision, the bang and BAM of combat filling the air. Fuck! He screams as pain cuts through his fury. The battle has turned vicious. Why aren't he getting hit? Namwon snarls in frustration, his attacks missing their mark. Dokja responds with deadly calm. Try all you want, but you won't be able to hit me. A blue notification appears. Level 1 of Omniscient Reader's viewpoint activated. As soon as his second skill activates, everything changes. The tide of battle shifts in an instant. Oh, fucking hell. You slimy little jerk. Namwon roars as electric purple energy crackles around him. 2 minutes left. Kid, he taunts while unleashing his power. Dokja realizes the horrible truth. He can't retaliate, only dodge. Fuck. Oh, if that old lady dies, Namwon will clear the scenario. The countdown continues its merciless march toward death. Time is running out for everyone. Whatever happens, I can't let someone like him move on to the next scenario, Dokja thinks with grim determination. Namwon grins wickedly, knife glinting in his hand. Haha, I knew you would make that move. The whish of the blade cuts through air as the weapon strikes. Arg. It hurts. It feels like my skin is burning. The blue UI flashes hard as Namwon writhes in unexpected agony. If I lose to Namwon Kim, am I going to die here too? The thought crashes down like a tombstone. Death is just around the corner. This is a world simply based on survival of the fittest. But the harsh truth cuts deeper. The world has always been like this. According to the law of the jungle, the strong prey on the weak. This apocalypse just stripped away the pretense. Namwon Kim, second-year student at Chungmoil High School. Is an insect egg also an organism? He asks with twisted curiosity. What the hell are you suddenly talking about? Comes the confused response. Yes, Dokja confirms grimly. If I hesitate, the sound of something being crushed echoes through the space. Ding notifications ring out as bonus coins are awarded. The game's cold mathematics continue. How am I supposed? Namwon starts, but Dokja cuts him off with brutal efficiency. Cheap, and I will invest 2,700 coins in my stamina. The notification blazes across his vision. Stamina LV. 1 stamina LV, 10. His physical durability skyrockets dramatically. When Namwon's purple energy slice hits with a swoosh, it meets enhanced flesh with a resounding clang. Namwon stares in disbelief. What just happened? What? The disheveled man stammers as the countdown reaches 0:57. You are Dokja states with chilling finality. Please, I'm not the one who's going to die. But desperation drives the man to violence. Fuck. You asshole. His attacks grow wild and reckless. Why won't you die? The timer ticks down to 0:04. Death approaches with mathematical precision. The countdown reaches 0:02. Midnight. Your time has run out. The agonizing scream pierces the darkness as the red-streaked background suggests violence and bloodshed. No, Arg. The cries of the dying echo through the chaos. Then, ding, the cold, mechanical sound signals the end. The first challenge, prove your value, is concluded. Silence falls like a shroud over the survivors. In the blood-soaked train cabin, Namwon Kim surveys the carnage with twisted fascination. Now, this is fascinating. He muses amid the debris and bloodstains. When the world happened in here? Another voice wonders. I was only gone for a minute, but look at all this mess. The crackle and rattle of settling debris punctuates the eerie aftermath. 5 survivors remain standing in this charnel house. The survivors stand like ghosts among the wreckage. Hyeon Seong Lee's shirt is stained with blood, sweat visible on his stressed face. Sangah Yu clutches her dirt-stained tan jacket, her expression troubled and haunted. Gilleong Lee appears worried in his soiled brown sweater, while Myongo Han maintains his composure with a cigarette, despite his pinstripe suit bearing stains of violence. They've all been marked by what they've witnessed. Help me. The panicked man collapses to his knees, pleading desperately. Please help me. I'm begging you. But Namwon's response is ice cold. Why should I? People's lives are important, so it's only right that you save me. The man cries. And no, I don't want to die. Please, help me. Thud. Splat. The sound of blood hitting the ground silences his pleas forever. Another life extinguished in this new world. Splat. Blood spatters tell the story of recent violence as Dokja reflects on his strange emotional state. To be lying if I said I didn't feel guilty. But it's strange. How am I able to remain so clear? Digital notifications coldly catalog his achievements from the slaughter. It feels like I'm just watching time pass rather than actually participating in it. The rattle and creak of settling debris underscore his detachment from the horror. What in the world? The girl stammers, her long, messy brown hair framing a face filled with fear and confusion. My God, the man with glasses gasps in shock. Meanwhile, Namwon stands in contemplative silence, saying, "And I am," before declaring with twisted fascination, "Now this is fascinating." The rattle and roar of approaching danger echoes through the blood-stained train cabin as something bursts through the window. A massive dragon-like creature emerges from the water, its sharp fins cutting through the surface as glowing red eyes pierce the fiery sunset. The bridge creaks ominously under some unseen threat. Why are we stopping again? Someone cries out in panic. It's coming for us. Sangah looks alarmed, her brown hair disheveled and clothing blood-stained. Lee maintains his calm composure despite the approaching terror. The woman with reddish-brown hair calmly explains the monster before them. Oh, it isn't. That snake-like monster is called an ichthyosaur. It's also known as a sea serpent. What on earth is that? Another character asks in terror. We'll be safe, for now. But the digital overlay reveals something chilling. The stars signify the number of constellations logged into the channel. They're being watched, judged, entertained. Some constellation must be furious about the outcome. Dokja reflects, blood still staining his black suit. And this error probably happened because I killed Namwon Kim. But the digital notifications bring unexpected rewards. Some constellations appreciate his scenario, granting him 500 coins. It's just unbelievable, he muses. I was in their position yesterday, but now they're the ones watching me. The roles have reversed completely. I'm sorry, I couldn't save the old lady, Dokja confesses, his expression heavy with regret. The girl with messy brown hair looks surprised. Dokja, how are you so? It's nothing. Thanks for earlier, he deflects. She recalls the pivotal moment. You threw the cage towards me. He dismisses it as just a coincidence, but she seems unconvinced. It won't happen again, he promises with quiet resolve. I don't know what she's thinking, but she was smart enough to survive this chaos, Dokja observes. The whimsical white creature suddenly appears, addressing its audience with cheerful enthusiasm. Wow, so, did you all prove your worth? I see there are many survivors. Oh my. Thank you for the sponsorship, dear constellations. There are 5 survivors. Dokja identifies them one by one, including Lee and Gilliong Lee. Hey kid, the bloodstained man in the pinstriped suit approaches the younger boy. Do you want to live? The question hangs heavy in the air. The boy looks incredulous and hesitant at the gravity of the offer. This isn't sympathy. The older man clarifies with brutal honesty. If I had to use a word to describe this, then let's team up. An alliance born not of kindness, but of cold necessity. Then are you going to let us go now? The younger character pleads desperately. Mr. Myongo-han, Dokja identifies him. He's one lucky guy. We did everything you asked for, another voice insists. But Myongo's response is chilling. Let you go. Outside, a monstrous creature roars from the water. The danger isn't over. It's only just beginning. Freedom is an illusion in this new world. The fluffy white creature floats between them, exasperated by their confusion. What's this? None of you seem excited at all. This is a pretty big deal, you know? Dokja explains the harsh reality to the bewildered group. All of you are terribly weak right now. If you move to the next scenario, you'll be killed by a weak ground rat. But there are great beings who pity you and wish to sponsor you. Do you understand? The 4 survivors stand together in the sterile corridor, each holding glowing blue tablets with concerned expressions. Exclamation marks appear above their heads as uncertainty fills the air. The whimsical white creature suddenly snaps its fingers, drawing their attention to something crucial. The formal presentation sequence displays Omniscient Reader as interface options appear. A ding sound signals sponsor selection. The next phase of their survival begins now. For sponsors, for cosmic beings vying for his soul, Dokja stands before the holographic display, bloodstained and calculating. The young woman beside him mentions Sangah's luck with 2 offers, but Dokja? He's struck gold in the worst possible way. For constellations want him as their incarnation. His mind races through possibilities, confidence building as he recognizes the clues. This isn't chance. This is destiny calling his name. The abyssal black flame dragon looms in shadow, wings spread wide with purple fire, dancing across its form. But Dokja hesitates. Too unknown, too dangerous for now. His gaze shifts to the second option. A demonic judge wreathed in flames catches his attention. The irony isn't lost on him. Despite the name, this constellation isn't truly demonic. Fire and judgment. She's something else entirely. Archangel Uriel materializes in ethereal glory, golden-haired and radiant with divine power. A tempting choice, but Dokja knows better. Absolute good comes with absolute restrictions. His eyes narrow on the third option, the secretive plotter, a shadowy figure cloaked in mystery. As an avid reader of the source material, this name strikes him as completely foreign. Could this be one of the hidden players he never knew existed? Dokja's hands tremble as he processes the impossible. The Monkey King himself, Sun Wukong, trapped behind cosmic bars, offering sponsorship. His heart pounds with disbelief and terror. Why would such a legendary figure choose him? The question burns in his mind as he stares at the tablet. Can he even survive being sponsored by someone that powerful? The selection timer ticks down with a decisive ding. The selection phase ends as others finalize their choices. Someone made an interesting pick, Dokja notes with a knowing smirk. But there's no time to dwell. The next scenario awaits preparation. Haiyan Seong Lee approaches, extending his hand in gratitude. A moment of human connection amidst the cosmic chaos. The tall man in the blue jacket radiates sincerity as introductions are exchanged. 10 minutes. That's all they have before everything changes again. Myongo Han's smug laughter cuts through the tension like a blade. The office hierarchy reasserts itself, even in apocalyptic conditions, as he mocks the younger man. Corporate titles and workplace formalities. How absurd they seem now. The rookie stammers in confusion, while Myongo demands respect he hasn't earned. Behind them, the abyssal black flame dragon's silhouette reminds everyone that old world rules mean nothing when dragons roam free. Reality hits like a sledgehammer. The man in the black suit delivers harsh truths to bloodstained survivors still clinging to denial. This isn't some novel they read during night shifts. This is their new existence. The young boy questions if it's all a dream, but the blood on their clothes tells a different story. Everyone needs to wake up. Everyone needs to understand. They're not getting out of this nightmare. Desperation drives dangerous thinking. The disheveled man argues against leaving their sanctuary while outside. Something roars with primal fury. The doctor agrees. Stepping outside means death. The young boy's fear is palpable. Everyone united in terror. But are they already transitioning to the next scenario? The walls that protect them may be dissolving faster than they realize. The slam echoes like a death knell through their refuge. Dokja's eyes widen with terrible understanding. He's coming. The sole survivor from cabin 3707, the man who slaughtered everyone in his path. If they don't move now, if they don't abandon this false safety, they'll join the corpses littering the other cars. Death approaches from within, not without. Kira's voice wavers with uncertainty as she questions their assumptions. How can they know this survivor is truly their enemy? But Dokja's knowledge cuts deeper than doubt. This man killed everyone in his cabin. That's not speculation, that's fact. Myongo searches for another exit while broken doors mock their attempts at escape. The debris-strewn cabin tells its own story of violence and desperation. Slam after slam reverberates through the blood-stained hallways. Each impact brings them closer to confrontation. The disheveled man in the suit moves with predatory purpose, while the dark-haired figure watches with growing tension. The walls themselves seem to pulse with violence, echoing the chaos that has already consumed so many lives in this metal tomb. The girl calls for Dokja urgently, her brown hair disheveled and coat stained with evidence of their ordeal. They found their only chance, a broken door that might still yield to force. The creaking sounds promise danger beyond, but staying means certain death. One character contemplates spending coins to boost his strength, knowing this moment demands everything they have. Time to use the character profile skill and hope it's enough. Hyeon Seong Lee's profile materializes in holographic blue as Dokja watches intently. The young soldier admits he has a skill, but doesn't know how to activate it. Simple advice follows, just visualize using it. Then breakthrough. Hyeon Seong's face explodes with joy and laughter as his military training finally manifests as supernatural ability. But their celebration is cut short by a thunderous bang that shakes everyone to their core. Run! Dokja's command echoes through the dimly lit subway tunnel as they flee from malfunctioning steel doors. But he knows the real truth. The doors aren't the problem. The round, chubby creature watches their disobedience with growing annoyance. It warned them to stay put, but humans never listen. With frustrated resignation, it prepares to snap its fingers. The next scenario isn't ready, but it has no choice now. Ding! The second scenario arrives with digital fanfare, interrupting their desperate flight. Cross the collapsed bridge within 20 minutes. Simple words that mask deadly complexity. But something's wrong. The character with brown hair senses the discrepancy immediately. The bridge isn't collapsed yet. Dokja urges them not to overthink it. Their early departure from the train bought them precious time, but that advantage won't last long. Dokja carries the panicked man across the collapsing bridge, flames and debris raining around them. They're cutting it close, but he believes they'll make it. The girl in the beige coat pushes from behind when suddenly, what the hell is that? A massive vortex swirls in the water below, and something ancient and terrible breaches the surface with a thunderous splash. Their race against time just became a fight for survival. The creature emerges in all its terrifying glory, an ichthyosaur, or perhaps something even worse. Hyeon Seong identifies it as a sea serpent, possibly a sea commander from its massive size. The beast's roar shakes the very foundations of their escape route. The bridge begins its inevitable collapse as Dokja calculates their odds. 200 yards to safety. The ichthyosaur doesn't typically target reincarnations this early, but it will destroy everything in its path. The fluffy white creature grins with malicious glee. What's the fun in letting them escape safely? Time to shake things up. The difficulty adjusts from E to D as evil thoughts of the dead return to haunt the living. Black ether rises from the earth like funeral smoke, and the impossible happens. Zombies claw their way back to existence. The girl gasps in horror while the young man stares in disbelief. Their nightmare just became infinitely worse. Oksu Station becomes a battleground as chaos erupts around them. The notification confirms their location while bloodstained survivors cry out in panic. A monstrous roar echoes through the underground chambers as the dark-haired man shouts for everyone to take cover. But it's too late. The creature strikes with jaws wide open, and someone screams Dokja's name in desperate warning. Death has found them at last. Episode 9, Chapter 2. The Protagonist, Part 3 reaches its devastating conclusion. The title card stands as a stark reminder that this is only the beginning. Every choice has led to this moment. Every alliance forged in blood and desperation. But as the chapter closes, one question burns brighter than the flames consuming their world. Will Dokja survive what's coming next? Or has his story finally reached its end?